Hello, my name is Katungulu Mwendwa, and I'm the creative director and founder of the brand. I think you might have known the brand. I think I'm Saki, that's not what I was trying to say. Let me come back.
Hello, my name is Katungulu Mwendwa, and I'm the creative director of the brand. Welcome to Mitindo.
The brand is a made in Kenya, made in Africa brand. I started it because I always liked working with my hands. I realized quite young that if I went into fashion, I could experiment with different mediums, from painting to weaving, to name it. And I've continued to explore all those different mediums since. The people that inspired me were various. It was definitely from my upbringing. So my father, my mother, my aunts, my grandmother. When I started fashion, I'm not sure I had any fears. I was very foolish when I was young. So I think that's the best time for anyone to start anything. I've been in fashion maybe for over, I'm going to say 12, 13, even longer. But officially, we realize we celebrate 10 years next year. We're quite excited by that idea. As a fashion designer, I have faced various challenges. It is very hard to run a fashion brand. I think when I started, I was like, oh, I love creating, I like designing, and therefore it came to me easily. But when you start a business, it's completely different. Like I was also doing a ready-to-wear brand. So there were so many things I had to learn. That I had to learn how to work with other people, how to outsource production, because my internal team was quite small and I knew I was not ready to expand it. Be told that your work is not African, yet my only experiences and what drives me is my reality. And my reality is growing up and living in Nairobi. It was a very unusual discussion to have. And I think for me at that particular point, because I work in the industry, there's so much information I have about the way we perceive ourselves. So like even in talking in regards to, let's say, Kitenge is not originally Kenyan or African to begin with. So it's something unusual that as an entire people, we've used that as our defining identity. So I made a choice not to use it. After finishing university, I also got selected to show at New York Fashion Week. I didn't have anything other than my sewing machine, my parents' dining room table, and what I had learned in uni. So I remember sewing for 2 months, no sleep, and that was amazing. I got to show there. Something else that I stood out, having done so many other significant fashion weeks. I've done Paris, Portugal, oh my goodness, Lagos, Maputo, Ethiopia, Hub of Africa. Those are like those things that just encourage me to continue doing what I am doing. And because it's been showing me that there's people who love my work, and that's been wow.
We've had quite a few celebrities wear our stuff. Quite recently over Jamhuri Day, we had Eric Wainaina wearing Ulimwengu hand-woven pants and our crochet, and that was so remarkable. We've also had people like Sunny Dolat. We've had Timano, Bien, had Anthony Hamilton, Mutua Madeka. Oh my. I mean, we've had so many and we've been very grateful because they've been such a great support for the brand. It means that we're doing something right. We are trying to become 100% made in Africa. And so what we've done is we found different types of partners who are able to contribute to the success of this. We have one very strong partner in Burkina Faso called Kabes, and they work with a community of makers. They source organic cotton that is farmed and grown there, similarly in Ivory Coast, and they weave techniques that are specific to their region because they have such a long-standing culture and history with hand-woven crafts. So we're not trying to take away from them. We continue to source from them. And they have been very positive. We've managed to even adapt some of our designs and be like, we would like it in this color, but we would like to adjust this and move this around. And so a lot of our pieces are made from hand-woven cotton from Burkina Faso. We also have local partners who also hand weave here. They're also sourcing organic cotton from Uganda, which are then milling here. Not milling, weaving by hand and or milling, depending on which supplier we're working with. And let's say to the extent of even our buttons. Our buttons are made from hand-carved horn. We do them for all our shirts or anything that opens using a button. You'll find our zip ends have like really interesting detail, like horn encased in brass with like really interesting finishing details.
We've had a chance to collaborate with, let's say, different platforms. I recently was working as a board ambassador for the Jägermeister project, and that was quite interesting and I really wanted to do it because it felt like such a great opportunity for a designer like myself to get the support they need in exhibiting their work and even in creating the work that they needed for the project. And what a remarkable experience it was. The current advice that I'd give somebody who wants to go into fashion is, 1, it is hard. Do not do it if you want fame. That is the most... No, don't do it if that's your driving motivation to go into fashion. I think that's the most ridiculous way to look at it as an industry, because it is something that is so valuable to somebody like me and to those of us that work in this industry, like my people here with me, and we know how much effort it takes. So don't do it for those reasons. But if you do it, take it seriously.